So right now, take a few seconds to think about devil fruit pairings. No, not One Piece relationship pairings like Luffy x Boa Hancock or Luffy x Yamato. No, I'm talking about devil fruit pairings, things that have very similar attributes or superior relationships. 3, 2, 1.
Let's do this.
So, for example, the Tone fruit of Mach Vice has a superior relationship with the Kilo fruit of Miss Valentine, since he can become much heavier than she can. Or let's say the Flame fruit. Any user of that fruit, whether it's Ace or Sabo, cannot naturally hurt the user of the Smoke fruit, of course in this case Smoker, or vice versa, since one is just the mutual byproduct of the other one. On the flip side though, the Flame fruit is naturally overwhelmed by the Magma fruit in terms of temperature, just how the Ice fruit can freeze more and get colder than the Snow fruit user. And there's even weirder ones, like for example, the soul entities created by the Soul fruit, in this case Big Mom, can be directly interacted and harmed, damaged by the user of the Revive fruit, or in this case of course Brook, because the user's soul does oscillate on a higher frequency. So there are clearly a bunch of weird devil fruit pairings and interactions across the board. Before this video, but actually in a general sense, I'm not gonna lie to you, none catch my attention more so than the relationship between the Rubber fruit and the Mochi fruit. That is correct, Amundo. Because number one, your boy is a massive, huge Katakuri fanboy. Everyone knows that I am the head pope of the mega church of Katakuri, and our reach, like Katakuri's mochi, is globally. We reach every corner of the planet, and the mega church forever and always strong. Comment in the comment section down below if you are a member of the mega church of Katakuri. Numero uno. Number two, of course, is how similar the powers are between Luffy and Katakuri, and how they actually utilize their powers. They're so similar in so many crazy ways. From the very beginning of their clashes during the wedding ceremony on Whole Cake Island, my eyes, oh yeah, they were wide open. Especially in chapter 877, when Luffy does his Red Hawk, and then he does blast through Peril Sparrow's Candy Maiden, and then the Red Hawk continues on to actually hit Katakuri, but Katakuri counters that with his own attack, and then Carrot notes to how his powers, Katakuri's powers, they're like Luffy's. From then on, I think everyone knew, yeah, Luffy and Katakuri, their powers work oddly similar. And then from then on, we could see how many of Luffy's skills Katakuri copied, and how they were just flat out way better. Especially 2 chapters after Carrot's comments in 879, where we see Katakuri matching Luffy's Hawk Gatling by just making more fists on his back, and then following that up with a bigger version of Luffy's Elephant Gun. It was insane at the time, just seeing Luffy kind of lose out in terms of skill to someone who was just mimicking Luffy's skills. And I even remember at the time seeing these really funny meme pictures of Gear 4 Katakuri. Hey yo, shout outs to Gear 4 Katakuri. Because that meme to this day is hysterical. And even though Katakuri never did actually mimic the Gear 4 Bowman state, he could easily match those gigantic Gear 4 fists with his own peerless donuts, and easily competed with Gear 4 Bowman with these peerless donuts. The man even had an attack that mimicked, in a way, Luffy's Red Hawk, called the Grilled Mochi, which was a fire projectile-like fist. It was a straight-up rocket punch. Yo, Katakuri, in so many dope ways, was able to mimic Luffy's abilities, but spin them in his own unique ways. Katakuri, forever and always, is the lord and savior of the multiverse, and absolutely worthy of this stupendous mega church. If you don't know, now you know. The doors are always open. You're free to join. And recently, I was actually reminded of all these dope things when it comes to Katakuri and Luffy's Devil Fruit relationship because of the recently revealed design of Katakuri's mochi fruit in One Piece Magazine Volume 14. The Devil Fruit that we see the design of for the first time earlier this month looks a lot like the Gomu Gomu fruit, but the stem is flipped and kind of inverted, and the bottom part of the sphere is actually kind of stretched down, making some sort of weird platform. But it's very clear that the mochi fruit and the Gomu Gomu fruit share a lot of design similarities. And to me, I thought it was really dope seeing those similarities because it does solidify the kind of connection and the relationship between these two abilities. And then I started to remember, hold on, wait a minute, time out. We can go deeper. That's correct.
Correct.
We couldn't go even further beyond. Because I remember the quote that Luffy said in that same chapter, 879, when Katakuri was stunting on this man. Luffy says very bluntly that there is no way Rubber would lose or could lose to Mochi. And at the time, it sounded like the biggest cap imaginable. Like a very obnoxiously tall top hat that kind of sticks out in a big crowd. No, it was so hard cap. Like, hey, yo, no way. Katakuri is schooling you right now. No shot, Monkey D.
Oh.
But the reveal recently, of course, of Luffy's Devil Fruit not being the Gomu Gomu, but the Hito Hito no Mi mythical model Nika. That's, wait a minute now. Luffy is a bit special. But at the same time, so is Katakuri.
Yeah, boy.
Katakuri's Devil Fruit is also a bit special. Katakuri is noted to as a special Paramecia Devil Fruit user. The main reason why was because back in the day when Jime told everyone about Katakuri's abilities, he said in the original version of the chapter that Katakuri was a Logia. But that was actually changed for the volumes to be a special Paramecia because Oda realized they made a mistake and Mochi is not actually found in nature, therefore it can't be a Logia ability. And then on top of that too, I believe that every person that has a different ability in Big Mom's crew does have a Paramecia ability. I'm pretty sure that's the case here. So in order to fit that trend, Katakuri is now a special Paramecia. And in a general sense, that means that he is a Paramecia that acts like a Logia. We have seen Katakuri time and time again display the Logia-like abilities. And at times, honest to God, even better than some of the actual Logia users that we've seen in the series. Though his awakening is like a Paramecia user rather than, let's say, a Logia user, whatever an awakening of a Logia would be, which at this point in time we have no idea. But the whole point here is that Katakuri is a special Paramecia. Luffy has actually Hito Hito no Mi, again, mythical model Nika. He is a mythical Zoan whose awakening acts like a Paramecia plus a Zoan transformation. And because Luffy can apply his rubber attributes to both the environment and other people, it seems that he has the best of all of the Paramecia awakening abilities. Personally, it's not confirmed on paper, but personally, because he is a Zoan that acts like a Paramecia, this means that he is a special mythical Zoan. That's how I dub him. I could be wrong, but I dub him to be a special mythical Zoan. Even Kaido himself states that Luffy has awakened his Paramecia powers, but he's confused by this transformation. That's more like a Zoan. Well, that's because obviously Luffy is a Zoan, but his Zoan acts like a Paramecia. So in my mind right now, Luffy and Katakuri, when it comes to their different dynamic, they just so happen to be the only special, unique Devil Fruit dynamic in the entire series of One Piece. And that is hella cool. That is hella dope.
Hold up.
I'm guessing here that Oda did not intentionally have this be the case. Because Katakuri being a Logia, was a mistake and now he's a special paramecia, that probably wasn't Oda's intention. But the reality is that's what we're kind of getting. It's like a very pleasant mistake. Or like, let's say you trip on the ground when you're walking around in town and then you stumble across like a $50 bill as you trip. Okay, it was a mistake, you tripped, but you get 50 bucks in the process. That's a good day. That's a good day. But there is a very important question we have to ask now. How does this special dynamic work? Because the idea last time was that the mochi fruit was in a superior position since it could mimic almost everything the Gomu ability could do. The main reason why Katakuri tied the fight with Luffy is because of personal reasons. Nothing to do with an inferior ability, not at all. But what about now? What about today, as of this video's upload? Can we apply that same logic for today? Because Luffy's fruit right now is looking hella powerful, Bugs Bunny busted. Even though Luffy can't be intangible like Katakuri, it is very clear now that there are things that Luffy can do that Katakuri simply cannot do. Number one is that the man, for some reason, Luffy has this very odd relationship with lightning and potentially fire, and I am dying to find out the exact details. I did a video recently about Mythical Fire Luffy over here, and then before that, I did a video on the lightning of Luffy and Gear 5. So check out those two videos, links in the box below. I am dying so much to find out what is going on with the mythical stuff and the lightning and the fire of Luffy in Gear 5. That's the first thing. The second thing is that Luffy can apply his rubber properties to other people. Katakuri, as far as we can tell, cannot apply his mochi properties to other people, as far as we know. And the man is quite seasoned. So in the future, when we see Katakuri again, he probably will be stronger. I'll say he will be strong for sure, without a doubt. But could he actually change someone's molecular composition to be mochi, like Luffy could, and change someone to rubber? I don't think so. That's number two. Number three is that Luffy restarted his own heartbeat when he first activated Gear 5 to, quote, come back to life, end quote. So the NL Flex is always scary, no matter which character does it. If Chopper does it, that is a very scary and impressive feat for Chopper. If Chopper can somehow restart his own heartbeat in the midst of a fight, that would be, wow. Okay, you know, Chopper, I have dunked on you for so many years, but you made up a lot of ground in one fell swoop. But thank God that's never gonna happen, ever. Good. And then number four, which is the biggest factor, no pun intended, is that Luffy can turn into a huge, colossal giant that can even swing Kaido around like he's nothing. And Kaido is absolutely titanic in size. So could Katakuri match Giganto Luffy?
Oh, hell no.
Ooh. Ooh. Even though I love Katakuri, I'm the head pope of the mega church. But nah, I love Katakuri, but goddamn, this dude Luffy turning into a super giant, I don't think Katakuri could match that in the slightest. In fact, right now, I think it's very obvious here that even though Luffy is an intangible, like Katakuri, Luffy's ability set right now has way more potential and is a bit too much compared to Katakuri's mochi ability. Honest to God. So all in all, even though Katakuri's relationship was superior in the past, I think now we have to flip that around. I think absolutely now we have to flip that script. And all in all, I thought it was pretty damn dope to kind of roll through some of these things and really kind of see the tie-ins between Luffy's ability and Katakuri's ability, and I am a big fanboy of Katakuri, without a doubt. But also, real quick, when you see the designs of the fruits, you have to wonder, time out, if these fruits were made by this ancient kingdom centuries ago, potentially, allegedly, on paper, hypothetically, who knows? It's a hypothesis, it's a theory, a One Piece theory. But if these fruits were made centuries ago, is it possible that the Gomu Gomu fruit was the basis of creating the Mochi Mochi ability. Because, again, if one is a mythical Zoan and another one's a special paramecia, you kind of want to edge out the special mythical Zoan over the special paramecia in terms of what would probably come first. Of course, main character fruit for a reason. So, what if Joy Boy had the fruit, and then there was a good friend or a special someone in Joy Boy's life that also had the Mochi ability back centuries upon centuries ago? Oh, that would be dope. It does get the mind jogging a little bit, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All in all, these signs are just hints that one day it will happen. Just like Roger and Whitebeard before them, under the sakura tree and the cherry blossoms, Katakuri will be drinking sake with Luffy for probably the final panel in the entire One Piece series.